It's Emerald. So, I just thought that. What? I just thought that I should at least get used to doing some sort of videos because I'm going to try to do 2 videos a month for 2020. Hopefully, I can do two videos a month every month. Regardless of what the topic is, I'm going to try to do that. So, I hope that I can. And yay, we got one person watching. So, I don't know how good the audio is doing. So, microphone. Is going to stay in front of me, and that may look a little weird. Actually, it doesn't. I don't. Oh, you can barely see it. Right there's the top of the microphone. The only thing that it's blocking on me is my face. That's fine with me. So basically, story time. And I actually got a request from one of my friends that I talked to because I was talking to him about all the reasons why I don't like Demon's adoptive mother. There are a lot of reasons. I'm a very positive person. However, we're flipping the script. So today, I'm going to talk about a lot of negative stories. And for the most part, it is going to include a lot of stuff about Demon's adoptive mother. So if you're too upset by the thought of someone bashing a parent, you've been warned. Yeah, this is not going to be a family friendly video like most of my other videos are. Most of my other videos are actually pretty family friendly. It's just that I really just restrict my swearing. It's not subject matter. Anyways, so let's start from first time I met her. First time I met her was when Demon was dating his now ex-girlfriend. And she actually really liked the ex. And at the time, I was just a friend of theirs who was hanging out with them on Halloween. So it wasn't anything too bad. Also, I'm going to be trying as best I can to cover any labels on anything that I eat or drink. Pardon me while I drink this. I honestly just have a big blanket over there with my guitar stand. But either way. So when I first met her, she seemed relatively nice and everything. But then when I started to date 9, that's when things changed. When I started to date Demon, it was weird. It was like I had gone from being like, oh yeah, it's totally fine, I don't mind, to being like, oh, it's you again. So not only does she criticize me on what I wear, even when I honestly dress less disgustingly than her. Okay, when your clothes look like a slut put together an outfit from my grandparents' couch, there is an issue. And like my most revealing clothes is a tank top, a skirt, and flip-flops. And even then, I am very, very self-conscious about lengths and everything. I show less skin than her. And she is like 50. It's kind of disturbing. There's a bug. So, yeah, she has a tendency to criticize me on what I wear, despite all of that. She has a tendency to criticize me on how I smell, despite the fact that, uh, honestly, the worst smelling is when I have a slightly off smelling perfume. It's always my perfume. And why does she not like it? I have no idea. So, there's a lot of things that I would prefer not to discuss about her that make me hate her even more. And the main reason why I don't want to discuss them is because the fact that they did happen some time ago, and it'd be very, very difficult, if not impossible, to have legal action taken. But it nevertheless made me hate her more. But pretty much all I can or will say about that is that she. I don't understand how she can be so mean to her kids, and yet her grandkids, it's perfectly fine. She has grandkids that she treats like royalty. But her kids, the ones who brought the grandkids into the world, she treats them like less than the gum on the bottom of her shoe. At least the gum, she allows it to stick for a few steps. And she'll say a lot of really mean and awful things when she either thinks I can't hear or knows I can hear, but it's just barely. So if I try to call her out, it's possible she might try to be like, "Oh no, I was actually talking about this person," or "Oh no, it's a coworker with the same name." But no, I know the one she's talking about me because I hear all the specifics. I know that she's talking about me when she's complaining about everything. And she does it when I can just barely hear. And then when her and I are in the same room, she's acting all peachy and innocent, like, "Oh, I would never say anything mean." Let's see here. "Oh, I have too big of a bill at the bar. Oh, looks like rent just went up for my son." So, yeah, I am generally speaking not okay with this woman. Don't understand how she could get married even once, let alone twice, but you know what? That's beside the point. So, ah, hold on one second. Because there's a lot that's actually going on. And there's also like 30 people trying to talk to me. And I hate that I had to message one back. So, but basically, that's the story with her. And in fact, just yesterday, we were at her house for Christmas. And uh, like, that's not uncommon for us to be like, "Oh, hey, da 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 da." Sorry, I'm looking past the mic and it's a little difficult. So I'm going to move the mic. So quality might be bad. So basically, we were at our house for Christmas, and we normally do it the day after Christmas, just because it's a lot easier for some of us. And uh, and so she gave Demon and I each a stocking full of stuff. We got for some odd reason, lottery tickets in there. We got, yup. For some odd reason, we got, like, I got a bunch of slippers in mine. He got, like, a bunch of shirts. I got, like, a ton of chocolate. And, like, she thoroughly cleans the house with bleach right before we get there. Like, she just gets done as we're getting there, even when we tell her, hey, we'll be leaving at this time. We should be arriving at this time. And she knows I'm allergic to bleach. Like, deathly allergic. Like, I have to stand outside the house for a good half an hour to an hour while she rinses everything off in the middle of winter because of the fact that, oh, I didn't read the text. Yes, you did. We know that you read it as soon as we sent it. We sent it 2 hours before we left, and thus we sent it 2.5 hours before we got there. I'm like, I don't mind that she gives me chocolate. Like, I'm actually mildly allergic to chocolate. The actual cocoa itself, I'm allergic to. Because caffeine, I'm fine with. Dairy, I'm fine with it. Sugar, I'm fine with it. Chocolate on its own, I can't have it. Like, dark chocolate, when it gets to be, like, into that super dark range, I can't have it because upset stomach, and then I start to feel really blah, and it's a bad situation. She forgets this and gives me dark chocolate, and she'll just give me all sorts of like dark chocolate. She'll make everything washed with bleach when I can't be near it. And then when she knows that her son is deathly allergic to sunflower seeds to the point where he was in the hospital ICU for, let's see here, 3 or 4 days and nights. She'll still eat sunflower seeds while she's cooking food she plans to give to him. Oh no, I'm gonna be careful. I'm not gonna get. And quite honestly, there have been a couple of times where I've been nearby when she's talking to Demon, and it looks like she's about to smack him, even at this age, across the face. And even then, there are times where I feel like if I say something, it's just gonna happen when I'm not there. But I swear, she at least knows that if she smacks Demon while I'm around, then she's gonna go flying out the nearest window, and I'm not gonna be held responsible. What? You smack someone that I care about, and I can't promise that you're gonna be in any condition to smack anyone else. I'm just saying. And my own mother and I, we make this joke that Demon's adoptive mother has what we like to call a how did we phrase it again? A dom problem where she has to control everyone. So my mother and I describe that as under whatever clothes she's wearing, she's always wearing a leather corset, and she's always got a riding crop and a ball gag. Riding crop to smack whoever disagrees with her, and a ball gag to make sure that they can't say anything about it. And it's not entirely wrong, because quite honestly, she will use whatever she can to make whoever she wants look like the bad guy. Like, one of the things that she did not too long ago was you know how some people in pictures, they just look so done with everything and they just want it to be done. Demon made a comment about how one of his relatives looked like that in a picture that was taken. And she made him look like the bad guy because of the fact that all he said was, "She just looks so done in that picture. She just looks so done with everything." So sometimes stuff like that happens, and she gets like that, and there's really nothing we can do about it because we say something and oh no, we're making stuff up to make her look like the bad guy. How could we? She's done everything for Demon ever since he was a baby. After all, his mother gave him up because she didn't want him. When that is not the case at all. What is the case is that Demon's real mother wanted to keep him. It's that he wouldn't have been safe if she did. She, for his own safety, his biological mother gave him up for adoption. And his adoptive mother does not realize that. And I think I'm more just mad about the fact that his adoptive mother wanted to meet his biological mother's husband while she was drunk. This lady, I swear. So that's that. Any story time requests at all? Or just questions? I honestly could keep talking for a few hours. I'm probably gonna yawn. Like that. But I'm probably gonna yawn a lot, but I'm honestly not falling asleep. My eyelids keep twitching and I hate it. I wonder if I can cut the label off this. Nope, I can't. Okay. Well, his biological mother and his adoptive mother have never really spoken just because of all the circumstances that surround both of them. So it's not like they ever really got the chance to talk everything out, and she doesn't really listen to anything that Demon has to say about the matter, even when he finds out everything that's the truth from his biological mother's mouth. She still doesn't, his adoptive mother still doesn't listen. She's difficult to deal with, to say the least. So I'm trying to make it so that way you guys can't see the label because I don't want anything bad to happen to my channel. Look at the snowball. By the way, yes, that's actually what this mic is called, is a snowball. Yes, it's chocolate. I can have a certain amount of like milk chocolate and actually white chocolate as well. It's just that dark chocolate I am much more restricted on. So let's see. By the way, my room is actually blue. Like, right about there is probably the closest you guys can see to it. This is actually more my real skin tone. I am basically like glow in the dark. Like, I could probably walk around, and if I crack my knuckles in the middle of the night and I go like this, you're probably just gonna see me glow. Where did I put my story thumb drive? Don't know where I put it. It's probably in my purse. What about vampires? Sorry. For anyone who's viewing this at a later time and can't see the chat, there's a live chat. And what about vampires? How am I a vampire? The person in the chat just called me a vampire. Why am I a vampire? How am I a vampire? I can literally lay out under the sun in order to get energy back. Vampires don't glow in the dark. Besides, if I was a vampire, then I would be just continuously sleeping because I cannot function at night unless I've been laying out in the sun for like 4 hours. Reverse vampire. Yeah, that makes sense. I know I'm a queen. Okay, but the joke is that because Demon's YouTube channel is Demon King IX, the joke is that I am his demon queen. So a lot of the times you'll hear him and I just go, I love you, my cake, I love you, my queen. And he'll start going like that a lot. And he's a freaking vampire. Just because, like, seriously, he does not like to have garlic. Like, his his biological mother is actually allergic to garlic, but he actually does not like garlic. He hates going out in the sunlight. And he, like, up until recently, he's been able to stay up all night with just doing nothing. And he'll sleep for, like, the whole day. I swear he's a demon. I swear he is. Not only is he a demon, I swear he's a vampire. He also has a tendency where if you put anything in front of his face, he will try to bite it. So if any of you try just go in like he in front of his face, I cannot promise you won't lose a finger. That's a disclaimer right there. Is that a Bindi? Is that a... By the way, we has a little visitor. It's my Bindi baby. She's all white right there. That's my Bindi baby. I love her very much. She is Bindi Lou Bitch. That is actually her first name, middle name, and her title. My mother gave all the cats middle names. And we have Bindi Lou. We have Boots Aloysius. We have Malibu Sunshine, and then we have Mew Elizabeth. And actually, their titles are Bindi Lou the Bitch, Boots Aloysius, the chunk of a mama's boy. He's 20 pounds, and he's a mama's boy. Malibu Sunshine, the attention whore. And Mew Elizabeth, the psycho. The only time she's nice to you is when you have treats or catnip. And as soon as she gets either of them, or both of them, she'll try to kill you. She attacks Boo Boo without reason. Malibu is Boo Boo. She tries to attack Boo Boo without reason. She is mean to Boots, even though Boots does nothing but sleep in his one spot and run around away from her. And she tries to bully my cat, Bindi. But Bindi is the cat that spends her time outside, and Bindi kind of kicks Mew's butt every time, and I laugh at it. I love these cats, and I know that sometimes it's their way of playing, but it's just funny because Mew will try to sneak up on Bindi, and as soon as Bindi gets attacked, it's just basically going like, and Mew just ends up like on her back, like, help! And I just find it great. So there's that story. I'm trying to think of other stories to fill the gaps in between requests. Like, let's see. I don't know if there is any stories that I can fill in the gaps with. Not without taking up time for the requests or questions. What do you want? Come here, baby. You want attention, don't you? Come on. Hold on, I'm gonna go get a Bindi. My room is kind of a mess. So therefore, this loud. Oh. Hey, I'm back. Okay, so I actually might get scratched because Bindi is not in a happy mood, but here's our baby. This is my Bindi baby. And I know that she loves me. She's just upset that I picked her up wrong. But, okay, so story about how we obtained each cat. So, first of all, Bindi. We've actually had her the longest. She's not the oldest of the cats, but we've had her the longest. Fluffy tail. That's her tail. Fluffy tail. We call her Princess Fluffy Butt. So, but basically, my mom, my stepdad, and I, we wanted to get a cat back when we first moved into this house. And Ken really wanted a cat because mom and I were always out of the house all the time. So Ken, my stepdad, was always here alone. And so he's the one who actually picked out Bindi because Bindi was playing with my mitten at the time. I had those mittens that were attached to the coat, and Bindi was playing with the mitten, like batting at it through the little cage. So we adopted her, and uh, she got her name because of the show Bindi the Jungle Girl, which starred Steve Irwin's daughter. And at the end of the theme song, you would just hear someone go, Bindi the Jungle Girl, Bindi. And every time that happened, she would just perk up and be like, what? Someone call me? It was adorable, so she pretty much just named herself Bindi after Steve Irwin's daughter. And then Bindi claimed me as her person, even though she was supposed to be my stepdad's cat, which meant that we had to go and get him a new cat. And there were a bunch of cats being sold. And actually, no, we got her back when we were living in the Northland apartments. And so my mom and my stepdad went up to Wapaka, and they got Boots, who's this big chunk of a boy. I don't know how well it's going to show up, but I think I actually have a picture of him, and I'm going to test this. If it does not work, someone let me know, and no trolls. I get very upset about that. But Boots is this big chunk of a boy. He's mainly gray, but he has white on his paws and white like right here. And he's named Boots because his back legs look like they have white boots on them, and one of them looks like they have a little hole in them because it's like all white and there's a little gray hole on them. It's cute. Oh, that actually works out fairly well. So that's a Boots with my hand as reference size. He used to be big enough to fit in the palm of my hand. Well, he used to be small enough, not big enough. He used to be small enough to fit in the palm of my hand. I could hold him where his head and front paws would be here, and I'd be holding him like his hind legs and his butt would be in my hands, and I would have to have my hands down at my waist in order for him to actually be comfortable, and he'd be fully stretched out and comfortable. Actually, no, that's not even fully stretched out, but he would be comfortable. That is a long way. He is a very big cat. I believe he is a Russian blue. And then Malibu, we got her from Saving Paws. We're pretty sure that we actually got Impala, but Impala and Malibu responded to each other's names, and the only way to tell them apart is a little mark on their forehead. Problem is, they don't know which one was named which, so that doesn't really help. But either way, she responds to Malibu and Impala, but we just call her Malibu. And so we got Malibu from Saving Paws because Boots had claimed Mom as his person. He's a mama's boy after all. So finally, there was Boo Boo, the house attention whore. And it's pretty much, if you didn't give her attention, she would go, meow, 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 in your face until you gave her attention. She would go at the other two cats, until they walked away so that way she could get attention. She also had this power struggle with Bindi because Boo Boo is older, But Bindi has been here like 4 years longer than Boo Boo has. So, Bindi is our queen of the house. Also, Bindi's fur is so soft and I love her so much. And then, lastly, there was Mew. See, Mom felt bad for Mew because Mew was in a house that was like 10 to 15 cats and like 6 dogs, and there was a lot of animals all in one itty bitty tiny house. And so all the animals had to go to different homes. Mew had gone through 3 different foster homes in about a month span. So at first, when we got Mew, she was actually hiding under Mom's bed, and we would leave food there for her. We wouldn't let the other cats like in to bully her or take her food or anything. And finally, when she started to come out, we slowly got the cats to get used to her. And then she turned into the house bully. So that's actually how we got the cats. And actually, interesting thing about Mew is that she has this divide that's not quite on the center of her nose, but it's still on her nose, where it's a clear line between like a very, very pale fur and very, very dark fur. And it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, it is gorgeous when you see it. Let's see here. That little divide that you see, that's actually print on her fur. It is adorable. But yeah, so that was Mew. You saw Boots. And then this is our beautiful Boo Boo girl. Oh wow, she is the least photogenic of all the cats. There we go. So yeah, that's all the cats. And sorry about all the yawning. I'm actually not normally up this late. Normally I'm actually in bed by 9 because I have to normally be up at 5, but that's not the case. When there's no school, I don't have to work. Unless I volunteer to work at another site, which I don't want to because that requires getting up and doing things. Enjoy the snowball again. I swear someone could bribe me with chocolate. Freaking bribe me with 20 bucks like in high school. Just bribe me with chocolate. Snowball is best. And I don't know how well it's picking up any of my audio, but I'm hoping that it's doing okay. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we used to have a bunny named Chef. He was pretty much all black except for one of his toes on his back right foot. His middle toe on his back right foot was white, and he had a little like white diamond shaped splotch of fur on his forehead and in between his ears. It was adorable, and that was his favorite spot to get pets, was like right here. It was adorable. we had to give him up because we couldn't afford to get him a big cage. We could only get a small cage where it was one hop and he went from one end of the cage to the other. It was kind of funny while we had him though, because at one point, Boo Boo had wanted to go and try to attack him, and she didn't, or at least go and greet him, and she didn't realize that the cage door was open, which means that it was up. And so when she jumped, she went into the cage door slammed down. So she was trapped in there with them. When she tried to jump out, she knocked herself on the cage. It was funny. We were all laughing at her, and I feel bad for laughing at her. So yeah, there's that. Um, let's see here. I got a lot of other stories, especially about the cats. Like there's Boots, why he's scared of bubbles. Bindi whacking her head on a metal table. Bindi when she nearly murdered a baby bunny. Let's see. I could do when Mew rammed her face into our metal walls. Okay, so Bindi, she is a hunting cat basically. When she's outside, she's actually very good. She has caught quite a few birds, she's caught quite a few bunnies, she's caught chipmunk, squirrels, mice, rats, all sorts of stuff. And at one point when Mom, my stepdad, and I were coming home and Bindi was outside on her leash, we heard like this high-pitched squealing noise. Well, my stepdad and I did. We look over and we see that Bindi is like, basically she has a baby bunny in her mouth. Like, this is actually fairly accurate. This is fairly accurate. She was just going like this. Like, she had it by the butt. And she was whacking its head on our cement driveway. We rescued the baby bunny and it learned how close it can get without Bindi being able to attack it. So for a while it would like hop up so that way it was that far out of Bindi's reach even when she was like stretching her paws out. And so for a while we had a baby bunny that would show up and we would leave like good yummy food for her and everything. And now there's like 12 bunnies that come by with the same thing. It's adorable. Oh yeah, I could do Mew getting too dizzy to even get up. We have a laser pointer. So yeah. Is there any questions that anyone has? Bindi doesn't normally like the cat food that we give her. Oh, the bunnies are fine, but Bindi doesn't normally like the cat food that we give her, so whenever she's outside, she'll just get her own food. So, normally when she gets anything, she'll eat it pretty much right away. So that's how she can beat up Mew. Sorry, I was just checking how much is left in my drink. Yes, Bindi will eat everything. But interesting thing is that if you die, cats will eat you before your body even goes cold. Like, if the cats are trapped in the house and you die, they will eat you. The dog will at least wait until it's starving before it even considers eating you, as long as you treated the dog well. It does not matter how you treat a cat. If you die, they will eat you. So, and that is why we let Bindi go outside as much as she wants, because none of us want her to be the one to have first dibs. Because she will annihilate anything she gets her paws on. She looks adorable and sweet and slightly bitchy, but she will honestly go after you. Also, if I get proper registration, it would actually be really easy for me to train her to be a emotional support animal or service animal if I need to. Just because the fact that she knows when my suicidal thoughts are getting out of control. She knows when I'm having a flashback and she'll come and comfort me. And she's also really good at telling that for other people as well. So I like Bindi. She's my baby. I feel like if I move out, then she's gonna die, and I feel bad. But at the same time, I gotta leave the house. So. Any questions? Any questions about me or the cats or anything? Because I'm willing to answer a lot. Not anything, but just a lot. I keep thinking that there's gonna be a face right there. It's freaking me out. So. Rather, for anyone who is reading or watching this, long after the live chat is not a thing, it's a lot of like weird stuff because there's only one person who's actually actively talking, which I'm a little upset about, but hey, a person's a person. Especially since I know which person it is. Cause let's see here. Let's see. But yeah, questions about me, questions about the cats, questions about Demon. You are dogs. Well, bark, bark. Anyways. But any questions about me, the cats, Demon, D&D? By the way, for anyone who doesn't know, D&D is Dungeons and Dragons. I am a nerd. I also watch a lot of anime. Well, I watch very little, but I watch it a lot. But the anime that I do watch I watch it like constantly. Yes, Steven likes to eat chicken and anything that's not red meat, basically. Because he's trying to be healthier. Problem is, being healthy is expensive. I do not have the money for it. Chicken with cheese? What? That really depends on the dish, I guess. Parmesan chicken is delicious. If you say anything different, you're lying to yourself. Or you just can't have Parmesan. In which case, I feel bad for you. But then again, this is coming from a Wisconsinite. Wisconsin can make Limburger cheese. Ow. I hit my knee on my desk. If I couldn't drink coffee, I would die. But, I'm actually thinking about ending the live stream here because I am actually starting to get tired. It is an hour and a half past the time for me to be normally in bed. You in the chats don't say no. So I'm gonna end it here, you guys. So goodbye, my little gems.